Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So we from Group 5 want to present about Chapter 10, Stress Management. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Farhan Hafiz bin Abdullah, number matrix 2019-846-508 from UiTM KK Sabah. Okay, for introduction, what is stress? Stress is defined as dynamic condition in which an individual is confronted with an opportunity, a demand, or a resource related to what the individual desires for which the outcome is perceived to be uncertain and important. There is two types of stress. Firstly, positive stress, and secondly is negative stress. For positive stress, happen when the situation offers an opportunity for one to gain something, such as new knowledge, new skill. For negative stress, happen when the situation leads to bad consequences to an individual, such as mental illnesses and heart disease. For sources and consequences of stress, sources have three and consequences have three too. For sources, environmental, organizational, and individuals. For consequences, physiological, psychological, and behavioral. Okay, that's all from me. Next, I will pass to Maziz.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Syukri bin Aziz, and I will talk about the sources for stress. So, for the sources, they are divided by three, which is environmental, organizational, and individual. So, we move to the environmental first. The environmental are the potential sources for the model of the stress. The factors are divided by three, which is economic uncertainty, political uncertainty, and technological uncertainty. So, let's move to the organizational factors. So, for task or role demand, these are factors that are related to a person's role at work, including the design of a person's job or working conditions. It means that they have one person that must do multitask the task that given for the person. So it may be a factors to the person. Next is interpersonal demands. These are stresses created by co-worker. Perhaps an employee is experiencing ongoing conflict with a co-worker he or she is expected to collaborate closely with. So this means that there are two people in the same place, in the same work, but they are not at the same head. It means the people A have many options, but the B1 is don't want to hear the people. So that's about the interpersonal demands. So we move to the organizational structure. Refers to the level of differentiation within an organization, the degree of rules and regulations, and where decisions are made. If employees are unable to participate in decisions that affect them, they may experience stress. For the organizational leadership, this refers to the organization styles of leadership, particularly the managerial style of its senior executive. Leaders can create an environment of tension, fear, and anxiety that can exert unrealistic pressure and control. So, if employees are afraid that they will be fired or not living up to the leadership standards, this can definitely be a source of stress. It means that a leader must be a control person. If they fear if the coworker is fear to the leader, it may cause the stressful for the person. For the last but not least is organization life stage. The company goes through a series of stages, which is birth, growth, maturity, and decline. Employees may find the birth and collapse of an organization extremely stressful, as these periods are often marked by anonymous workload and a sense of fear about the future. So, for the last part is the individual factor. Okay, the first three sources of stress are individuals. Why? Why individuals? Because individuals may experience stressful commutes to work or a stressful couple of weeks helping at a work event, but that's kind of temporary. But we must think that individual stresses are not what we're looking at here. We're looking for a deeper, longer term stress. Family stress, it can be. Marriages, it can be. That are no ending. Issues with children is the issue that every person will have. An ailing parent. This is a stressful situation that an employee really can't live at home when he or she comes to work. The most important thing, financial stress, like the inability to pay bills or an unexpected new demand on a person's cash flow. It might also be an issue that disturb an employee time at work. Finally, an individual's own personality might actually contribute to his or her stress. It's because if a person want to demand things but cannot be fulfilled by the salary, maybe it may cause the fear of distress. That's all from me. Thank you, madam. Enjoy the video.
Assalamualaikum and hello madam, my name is Muhammad Fakhrul Akhmal bin Muhammad Ali. My student ID is 2019290094. And on this video I would like to present my part, which is summary for the consequence of the stress. As we know, the consequence of the stress has three, which is the consequence of physiological, psychological, and behavior. And for these three consequences, it can be in two situations of stress, where it is for good stress and bad stress. Good stress is a stress that happened on human that was not over as it was supposed to be. And bad stress is a stress where the stress is over the level that the stress is supposed to be. As for the physiological, it is the consequence that affect to our body and the functions of our body. For the good stress, it will give our body to be more active. This is because the good stress will make us have a good blood circulation, and this will help us to be more active and productive to do our job and tasks. For the bad stress in physiological consequence, it can make us to have such as our blood vessel to burst. It is because the high pressure of the blood in our blood circulation, and this will cause us to be incapacity to do our job or tasks. In terms of psychological, it is the consequence that affect our mental and brain. For the good stress, it will lead and help ourselves and our brain to be more focused on doing our tasks and job. This is because we as a human don't like to feel stress. And by having stress while doing the task will help us to be more focused to done the job as fast as we can and as the best as we can. So we will not having the stress after we done the job. But for the bad stress, it will lead us to be depressed if it not be handled in a good way. As because the stress will give the high pressure to our mental, and it will lead us to have the time where we are too tired of everything, and this is how the depression can happen. And this can make us have no motivation to be productive in what are we doing. And lastly, in terms of behavior, it is the consequence that affect our act and what we are doing as a human. For the good stress, we will be more disciplined in our job or our task, because as I mentioned earlier in the psychological aspect, the stress will make us focus, and the focus that we have will make us to be more disciplined on doing our tasks or job. And for the bad stress, it can make us easy to be angry, as because the pressure that we face that caused by the stress, and as a human, we tend to express our stress in anger, and this will make productivity of ourselves in community is decreased. Therefore, the good stress can increase our performance of our productivity and help us to do our job and task well. And for the bad stress, it can lead us to harm ourselves and will make ourselves not able to do our job and task, or it can decrease our productivity. That's all from me. Thank you, madam.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to my slide. So today I will presenting my part, which is discussion. So our chapter is about stress. So first of all, let me introduce myself. So my name is Calista and I am a student from UITM Sabah. Okay, so this is the content of our slide today, which is introduction. What is stress management, how stress affects performance and productivity, and how do we handle it. So what is stress management? So you can read by yourself. Okay, so how stress affects performance? So stress contributes to decreased organizational performance, decreased employee overall performance, high error rate and poor quality of work, high staff turnover and absent due to health problems such as anxiety, emotional disorder, work-life imbalance, depression, and other terms of elements such as frequent. Okay, so how stress affect productivity? So how stress affect productivity by time management issues, lack of focus, negative effects on your health, constant worry, and negative effects on your personality. So this is the example of chart. So how do we handle stress or performance? So how do we handle by encourage workplace wellness, revamp the habitat, allow the flexible hours and remote working, encourage social activity, and create quiet time. So how do we handle stress productivity? So first of all, keep realistic schedule, know your stress triggers, delegate, take schedule breaks, and lastly, set up your own benefit plans. So that is all from me.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Hafiz bin Zainuddin. So I will talk about the conclusion. So for the conclusion, stress is prevalent among us in nowadays and prompted a big impact, especially in terms of performance and productivity of the individual and organization. Stress may vary from a lot of different sources, thus it will give the worst consequence if not managed it properly, which affecting either in physical or mental health and also behavior of that person. It is prominent that managing stress can be done by individual approaches and organizational approaches. Despite stress is not bad at all. Some stress may good for keeping high performance through its commonly significant as division matters. By managing stress at its finest, great quality of performance and productivity will be achieved. So that's all for the conclusion from me. Thank you.